The implications of the Puttaswamy judgment extend beyond conventional notions of privacy, raising questions about data protection, consent, and the ethical use of technology. It has catalyzed discussions around comprehensive data protection laws in India, urging lawmakers to establish frameworks that respect individual privacy while ensuring accountability from governmental and corporate bodies alike. The judgment has thus shaped a narrative that prioritizes individual rights in the digital age, fostering a more informed citizenry that demands transparency and security regarding their personal data. Ultimately, the Puttaswamy case serves as a beacon of hope for citizens who value their privacy in an era dominated by global digital surveillance. It challenges the government and corporations to rethink their approaches towards personal data, reminding us that privacy is not just a legal entitlement, but a fundamental aspect of human dignity that must be vigilantly protected. This ruling is pivotal in shaping a future where technological advancement does not come at the cost of civil liberties. Did you know that the landmark case of Justice K.S. Puttaswamy versus Union of India established the right to privacy as a fundamental right in India, changing the legal landscape forever? In today's video, we're going to explore this pivotal case that had far-reaching consequences for individual freedom and state surveillance. We'll delve into the background, the narrative, and the implications of this judgment that has become a benchmark for privacy rights in India. The significance of this case cannot be overstated. It's a testament to the power of individual citizens, holding their governments accountable for protecting their fundamental rights. As we navigate the complexities of this case, you'll come to realize why it's a watershed moment in Indian legal history. Before we dive in, it's essential to understand the context in which this case emerged. India's legal landscape was vastly different prior to this judgment, and the winds of change were already blowing. Prior to the judgment, India's legal framework didn't explicitly recognize the right to privacy as a fundamental right. However, there were instances where the Supreme Court had emphasized the importance of privacy in previous rulings. The right to life and personal liberty under Article 21 of the Indian Constitution was interpreted to include privacy, but it wasn't an explicitly protected right. In the years leading up to the case, concerns over privacy issues were growing. The increasing use of technology, biometric data, and surveillance raised questions about the government's ability to access and misuse personal information. The debate around privacy rights was gaining momentum, and it was only a matter of time before the issue landed in the Supreme Court. The petition was filed by Justice K.S. Puttaswamy, a retired judge of the Karnataka High Court, and 5 other petitioners. They argued that the Aadhaar program, which aimed to provide a unique identification number to Indian citizens, was a violation of their right to privacy. The government, on the other hand, contended that the right to privacy was not a fundamental right and that it was a privilege that could be limited by the state. They argued that the Aadhaar program was essential for efficient governance and that it didn't violate individual privacy. As the case progressed, the Supreme Court realized that it couldn't be limited to just the Aadhaar program. The bench had to consider the broader implications of the right to privacy on Indian democracy. The petitioners presented a wealth of information on the importance of privacy, including international human rights law and the experience of other countries that had recognized privacy as a fundamental right. The government, however, stuck to its stance, citing national security concerns and the need for efficient governance. The Attorney General argued that the right to privacy was not an absolute right, and that it could be restricted in the interest of national security and public order. The Supreme Court had to navigate these competing interests and arrive at a decision that would balance individual freedom with state interests. The bench consisted of 9 judges, making it one of the largest benches to hear a case in Indian legal history. After months of deliberation, the Supreme Court delivered its verdict on August 24, 2017. In a unanimous decision, the bench declared that the right to privacy is a fundamental right under the Indian Constitution. The judgment was a seminal moment in Indian legal history, and it changed the way Indians think about their personal freedom and state surveillance. The judgment emphasized that privacy is an integral part of life and personal liberty, and it's essential for the exercise of other fundamental rights. The court also recognized that the right to privacy is not absolute and that